welcome back. It is the next day. I just had my cup of coffee and now we're ready to get started. Paint looks good on the frame, everything's all good and dry. So now we're gonna go ahead and install our 4-inch X Series Rough Country lift kit with V2 shocks. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so there you go. We got the rear upper control arms adjusted to 18 3/4 inches from center to center. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw them in the Jeep. Rear upper control arms in. Now we're going to go ahead and switch back to the front and get the front upper control arms in. Alright, we got both of our front upper control arms adjusted to 18 3/4. We're going to go ahead and throw them in. Alright, we've got all of our upper control arms in. Little sneak peek, it is looking good. I love that blue under there. I tighten the hem joints all the way. Hem joints are going to pivot when we lower it or raise it up and down on the ground, but the bushings are not going to. So we're going to leave those loose until we get everything all on the ground, wheels and tires on it, while we get the pressure on the axle the way to the Jeep. And then we'll tighten the bushings down. But hem joints, I'm gonna tighten those. Well, they're easier to get to. Now we're gonna go ahead and build our front lower control arms. All right, so we got both front lower control arms adjusted to 22 7/8 from eye to eye. And we're gonna go ahead and throw them in the Jeep. There you go. We got both front upper and lower control arms installed on the Jeep. I think they look amazing. That blue just goes so well. But now we're going to go ahead, assemble the rear lower control arms, and install those on the Jeep. Rear control arms adjusted to 20.5 inches from eye to eye. We're gonna go ahead and throw them in the Jeep. So now that we got all control arms installed, we're gonna go ahead and switch back to the front end, and we're gonna finish that up. We're gonna install our front extended brake lines that are included with the kit, and we'll go from there. all of our brake lines on, ABS cables tied up, out of the way. A lot of people just leave them dangling. I don't like that. More chance to get caught on something. But passenger side, driver's side. We also got the rear ones done. My camera battery died, but I mean, pretty straightforward, same as the front ones. And there it is, everything's all tightened up, double checked everything. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the front coil springs. We're gonna get those in there. We're gonna throw the isolator pads on there, and then throw the new coil spring in. We'll do a side-by-side comparison here real quick, just to see what they look like. And yep, they're about 4 inches bigger. All right, so let's go ahead, throw them in. Coil springs in place. So now we're gonna go ahead, get our front V2 shocks, and we're gonna install them. There we go, we got our coil springs and our V2 shocks in place. Those look awesome. Now we're gonna go ahead, throw in our adjustable track bar. Alright, so there you go. We got it at 32 7/8. We're good to go. We're going to go ahead and install it on the Jeep. Sway bar end links and throw them on the Jeep. Alright, now that we're done with the front end, we got everything wrapped up. I got my steering stabilizer back in there. We are about ready to go get the wheels and tires. So, gonna go get the wheels and tires. They're in the back of my truck. Had them mounted and balanced yesterday. Gonna go get them, bring them in here, and throw these rings on there, and set the front end on the ground for the first time. Alright, let's go get them. Tires on. Man, that thing looks good. I love the way those arms look in the back there. You can definitely see them I love this rough country lift kit. I mean, this thing sits perfect. We got everything in the back end where we want it. We got the big jack stands under there. Got our jack underneath the rear axle. And now we're gonna go ahead and install our rear coil springs. First, we gotta put our rear coil spring angle correction brackets on there. Just sit on there like that. There we go. Those help keep the rear coil springs from binding, because as you can see, they're going to be at a different angle with the axle the way it is. But alright, now we're going to go ahead, grab the coil springs, throw them in. Coil springs in, now we're going to go ahead, put our track bar relocation bracket on, and then our track bar, and then shocks. We got the track bar relocation bracket installed on the driver's side. It said to leave the passenger side off for now. I think we're going to put it back on as soon as we get some weight on the axle. Alright, we're going to go ahead and push the sleeves. Well, we're going to put some grease on them and push the sleeves into our new sway bar links and install them with the supplied hardware. Here we go. Alright, sway bar end links in. Now we're going to go ahead and install our factory track bar up there to the track bar hole, the bracket from the frame there. And then we're going to throw our shocks in, put our rings on our wheels and tires, and set the back on the ground. The back will be done. Alright, here we go. Alright, so there it is. Finished product sitting on the ground. Thing looks awesome. It's a lot taller than I thought it'd be. We had a 3.5 inch lift kit on an identical Jeep. It was a rough country as well. And we had that lift kit, we bought it about 2 years ago. I don't think they make it anymore. It seems like it sits a heck of a lot higher than the 3.5 inch lift kit. I love it though. I think it's perfect. It looks mean. I love that stance. And I love that you can see the blue control arms underneath. It's perfect. Love the blue rings and the wheels. I think I got a few more minutes until the wife comes home. 2:42. She gets here at 4:30, and I told her I'd have it done sitting in the driveway for her. So I am gonna go ahead and put these diff covers on that I painted, and then snug up all of our suspension bolts. All the control arm bolts I think are all I have left, and then I'm just gonna go back through and double check everything and it'll be ready. Let's go ahead and throw these covers on. Alright, so here's the Jeep in the garage. I just wiped it down, detailed it, got it all cleaned up, all the dust that was in the garage from paint and everything. Detailed the inside, vacuumed the carpets, wiped everything down. I mean, it was already pretty clean, but just to finish it up. Yeah. So I put it in the garage in her spot. This is the wife's spot. Usually she parks here when she gets home from work. She's on her way home right now, a few minutes out, and we'll get a reaction video of what she thinks of it. She hasn't seen it since yesterday. I didn't have any lift kit on it. The differential covers, that she still doesn't really know what they are, but she hasn't seen it yet. So we'll go out front. We'll film her pulling up, and we'll see what she thinks of it.
Hello.
What do you think?
Brand new. Looks good, eh?
Doesn't it?
It's so tall.
It's a lot bigger than the last one. Isn't it cool?
So pretty. Oh, sorry. How am I supposed to get in here?
You gotta get some steps. Look good. Alright, so the Jeep is all done, 100% complete and out of the garage. And I just figured I would do a walk around and show you all of the tools and the destruction of the garage. I feel like I took every tool out of the toolbox that I could. Look, we got stuff everywhere. Here's all the old stuff over here. Gonna be dragging that out to the curb. Probably gonna keep the good control arms. I guess I'll keep the good stuff and throw away the garbage. Throw away those brake lines, don't need them. Nobody wants them. Yeah, we made a pretty good mess here. But thank goodness it is done and out of here. So I'm gonna get this place all cleaned up, and then we're gonna start working on the next project. All right.